Well, welcome back. This is going to be the 8th video in the new workshop build series. So if you haven't seen the first 7, I would recommend watching those so that it makes sense here. So when I left you last week, basically all the priming and painting of the walls and the ceiling had been done except for one wall. I'll take you in and show you what happened here today. This is Monday. And anyway, we've had some pretty good progress. Anyway, let's go in and have a look. First off, you'll notice that a lot of the trim has been put on. The window boxes are now done and trimmed out. All of these are done down here. And we even got some baseboard on. Something that, to be honest with you, I wasn't even really expecting. So that one's all trimmed out. That one as well. Again, all the baseboards on. I must say it really does dress it up for sure. I also put a piece of rope on here because when this goes up, it's very hard to get down. Because I'm not real tall and I can't reach it when it's all the way up. So definitely need that on there. Anyway, this is my contractor, David, doing all this stuff. That window is trimmed out and he's just got to throw the trim on this one because he's got his box in there. And what I mean by the box is this, because ordinarily it looks like this. So he's just got to do that one tomorrow and trim that one. And I believe he's going to put the doors in, so we should see quite a transformation here tomorrow. There's no lights on in here, as you can probably tell. And the electrician is coming here tomorrow, so I will talk to him about the lights that he plans on putting in here. But we're going to be putting in 25 4-foot LED lights. That's what all those the wires that are hanging down, that's going to be for the lighting. So, you know, oh, I should mention too that this wall is now painted a light gray like we want it. So this is going to be kind of an accent wall. There you can see it in the difference between the white wall and the gray. That was done with one coat of paint, one can of paint. So that's good. Yeah, it's coming along, troops. It's coming along. It's coming along quite fast, actually. So after tomorrow, I don't know if he has his interior doors yet or not, but could actually see quite a difference in here tomorrow. But anyway, I'll come back for your daily update tomorrow, and we'll talk to you then. All right, welcome back. I wasn't able to get here yesterday, but they've made some pretty big progress. All the doors are now on. These are the incorrect doors. The new ones are being ordered, or actually I think there should be in soon. But all the inserts are in. The exterior doors, that is the proper door right there. It's like a raised embossed, so we want them all to match. So this is going to be the casting room. All the light fixtures, there's going to be 3 in here, so it's going to be super bright. And that's what the door is going to look like. That way, if I'm working in there and anybody comes in the workshop, I'll see them. Same thing, wrong door, going to be changed out, not a big deal. They got the heater mounted for the bathroom in here. Looks like it's all got the plugs in. Still got to get a vanity light. Light switches. 2 of them in here. And probably won't be too long before that's mounted. Nothing really happening at the panel yet. Talking to the electrician running the job again, same style door as the exterior doors. And again, people may be wondering, why did I put these in here? And the reason for that is to keep the dust out of that room and to keep the dust out of the clean room. And that's going to be the casting room as well. So, you know, right now and in my last workshop, dealing with dust in the clean room was always a thing. So hopefully this will solve that issue. And of course my workshop was a little different at the last place because you walked into the clean room when you came into the workshop. So you're always tracking dust in and out. So, you know, that's not really a good thing for a clean room that, you know, when you've got shiny finishes that are curing. So that's why there's 2 exterior doors on the inside, but everything will match that profile, all 4 doors, and with our beautiful gray wall. And all of the light fixtures are now up. Still got to tie them in yet. The young fellow says that hopefully by the end of Friday, everything will be all hooked up and ready to go. They had to order the 240 plugs that I wanted. My equipment, for those who don't know, so your normal 110 plug here in North America is like this. But when you're dealing with 220 equipment, a lot of times with 240 equipment, these will be like in this orientation, straight across, or one will be up and down and one will be like this, so that you can't plug them into a 120 plug outlet. You could here, so I don't know why that's there, but anyway, lots of the plugs have been done. So that's awesome. Yeah, I think that they're mostly just waiting for the 240 plugs. That's going to be up there for the lathe. And another one over here for the lathe as well. But I told them that what I really want is a 240 plug with 2 outlets in it like this. And, you know, that way, this is a bigger circuit. It's supposed to be for 30 amps up there. Don't know if you can see that or not. And that way I can plug in really both of my lathes into the same outlet. It really doesn't matter. It's not like I'm going to be using both of them at the same time. And yeah, I mean, massive progress. All the trim work is done. Window boxes are all done now. Nice trim work, actually. But that's going to do it for today. Right now, when they come back, I mean, there's not going to be a massive amount of visual progress other than having things tied in. I just really want to turn these lights on. I want to see how bright it is in here. The good thing is, if it is too bright, which I don't think that it's going to be, but if it is, on the side of every one of these units up here is a switch. And you can adjust the brightness on each one of the lights. So I'm very happy about that, especially in this room, since there's 3 in here. This room could be just like the sun. So anyway, we'll find out. But anyway, that's it for today. I'll give you an update tomorrow when they're all done, and I'll talk to you then. Okay, well, welcome back to, is this the 2nd or 3rd day of electrical? I don't know. Now, I was told that they might have the lights on today. Let's go hit a switch and see what's happening. Yes, sir. It is nice and bright in here. To be honest, I I kind of thought that it would be brighter. This is good, I think. Like, I don't know. We'll have to see what it's like in filming. I wonder if they've got it down on the lowest setting. I wonder if that's what's going on here. Anyway, regardless, happy days. We have light, finally. I wonder if the other rooms are done. Here's the washroom. Yep. Clean room. Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of filming in here, so it's nice and bright. That's the plan anyway, to do all the casting in here, and I'll have a cabinet to put some of my finished work that's curing in. So that's good. Yeah, we just had the one light in here. This is just a utility room, so there's no need to have a whole bunch of lighting in here. How awesome is that to finally, after 5 months, to see this place done, well, for the most part done and lit up. Pretty darn cool, I must say myself. All right, so they still, I think they've got heaters to do yet. Maybe they've got them all in. Oh, there were supposed to be soffit lights. Let's see if those are done. Yeah, this heater's on in here. You can feel it. Oh, yeah, they are. And they're on. And whatever we're doing here, we're going to do the same thing in the house. And then a couple here. The motion light is during the day it won't come on, so I imagine that's why it's not lit up. Awesome. Oh yeah, they got plugs are in out here. If I can open it without busting it. Weatherproof. Coach light is in. Siding is still not done. There's another coach light. Light switches out here. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. This light switch is going to be for the carport once it's built. And, yep, another outlet. Definitely want power out here in case I'm working on the tractor, anything like that. There's going to be a water spout coming out over there too, so I'll be able to clean things, pressure wash things. Really looking forward to this space to be working in as well. This is going to be the disconnect for the air-to-air heat pump that will be sitting right here. Motion light didn't get put in there yet. And another plug. Now I didn't do any on the outside over here. Just really didn't see the need for it. But the motion light is in place. And my brother-in-law and I will be putting up the security cameras here very, very shortly. So yeah, there's just the motion light above the door here that I can see. And they still have to do the 240 plugs. That's another thing. I don't even know if we need to have a heater going in here now. It's actually pretty warm today. So, you know, I thought they'd be brighter. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really thought that they would be brighter than what they are. Don't get me wrong, this is good. But if they can, if that's hopefully down on the lowest setting, if they can put it up on the highest setting, then I think that I would prefer that. Just to get rid of, there's no shadows. That's one thing that's really, really good in here. With all these lights, there's no way, I don't think there can be any shadows in here. So that's great. Anyway, I haven't got a ladder to get up there and see what's going on. Maybe I'll climb that and see what setting they're on, because I may have to change it if I can. If I can't, you know, they're not bad. I don't mind them at all. What do you guys think? Anyway, I'll climb this ladder and have a look at them and see where they're sitting. Give me a second. Well, it looks like they're at their maximum setting. That's 4,000, 3,000. Well, you know, it's great. It's better than what I've got now. And I always use task lighting for all my stuff anyway. But yeah, I'm just a little surprised that it isn't brighter than what it is. I wonder if I get all the plastic off of these. All right, anyway, let me get down here and hopefully not break my neck. Yeah, you can see, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up or not, but you can tell that one's at a different setting than this one is. But I think that's the only one. And I like the fact that they're sealed, so you're not going to get any dust inside of them. Limit how much dust is going to get inside them. Dust is going to get inside of stuff. There's no doubt about that. Not sure what's going on there. So we are waiting on 240 plugs. Yeah. Now I wanted doubles. Apparently I was told that if I wanted doubles, I was going to have to wait almost another 2 weeks to get them. So I said, nope, I'm done with delays. I'm done with delays. I want to get in this thing and start using it. So I don't know when they'll have them, but he said that, thought he said he had them in hand. Yeah, they're all in actually, except for that one over there. I don't know why that one isn't done. Maybe they're short. Okay, well, that's going to be your update for today. Still don't have the proper doors yet. And don't ask me why the light switch is on the outside of this room and not, well, I understand the bathroom. You should always have the light switch to the bathroom on the inside, if you remember your childhood. And, well, I guess this really doesn't matter. You're going to open it up, it's going to be on this side anyway, so all good. But I don't know why we left this one out here and, you know, not that one to match it. I don't know, what do you say? Too much on my plate and not enough time to think about things. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I guess the thermostat must be right on this thing. Yeah, it is, actually. turn that down. Because that little heater is putting out a lot of heat. That's what the panel looks like so far. Mostly just the 240 connections to go. Okay, well anyway, I will let you know what's going on here tomorrow, and I'm going to turn all these lights off, and yeah, we'll give you an update tomorrow. Yeah, the more I look at it, the brighter it seems to be, except for that one light back there. We're going to change that. But other than that, we're good. See you tomorrow. Welcome back. It is Monday, and finally, we're all weather tight. Everything's done outside. They were finally able to get all the siding and get it on, so that's awesome. Let's have a look inside and see what's going on. I probably mentioned this before, but the reason why that wire is there, that's for the carport that's going to be on here, but we can't put the carport on because the water lines are going to go into the workshop there. So they're going to have to dig this down under the footings 4 feet. So unfortunately, the carport's going to have to wait until we build the house, which will hopefully be get started here no later than 2 months. But we'll see. But anyway, let's go inside and see if we can see anything that was done. Anything that was done is probably just trim work. But anyway, let's go have a look inside. Yeah, the painter was working on the trim today. Don't know what kind of progress he had. To be honest with you, it looks good now. I don't think that I really needed any better than this, but apparently it's going to be all painted just like it would in a house. So yeah, he hasn't done this one yet. I can still see that there yet. So yeah, it's really hard to tell what was painted and what isn't. Still waiting on doors and for the electricians to come back and finish the tie-in for the furnace. And speaking of that, here is the HVAC guy was here and dropped off heat pump and furnace. Man, that thing's huge. I don't know if that's the heat pump or it's the furnace. Anyway, that thing's massive. If that's what's going to be sitting outside, I don't really know. But I did talk to him about putting up the dust collection around the perimeter, because of course they make pipes, and I mean that's all part of that trade. So I think that he's going to give me a quote on that. I'll see what that is. I'm thinking that it's probably going to come in really high, so I'll probably just stick with the 4-inch plastic conduit like I've used for many years without any issues, like I put up in the attic. That's what those pipes are, if you're wondering. There's 4 of them, if you haven't seen this whole series. And anyway, there's just a whole bunch of plastic conduit, 4-inch conduit that comes out to these areas and then into what will be the utility room and where the furnace is going to sit. Still don't have the correct doors yet. I don't know what the status is on those. And yeah, this is going to be, actually I don't need to do that because I got a light in here now. Kind of a strange place to come down for the furnace, but again, I don't do furnace work for a living, so maybe that's normal. I suppose, yeah, sure, why not? So anyway, we're just waiting on I think that's going to be probably the biggest holdup right now, is that we are waiting for all of the heat pump furnace to be installed. And when that happens, and part of the reason why I can't move in until that happens, after talking to him, what they're going to do is bring the pipes out about 16 inches from the wall, and they're going to be hung from the ceiling. So can't really move anything into the workshop until that is done, because obviously it'd be in his way. I could put everything in the center of the workshop, I suppose, but I want to be able to move in here and use it right away. So we're kind of held up until all of that gets done. So, you know, after the doors are painted, the interior, once we get the correct doors and the doors are painted, that's about it. The HVAC, and it'll be moving time. Anyway, I don't know what other updates I'm going to give you. Maybe once he starts putting up the ductwork. I did talk to him, and he wasn't totally against doing a time lapse on that. So hopefully that stays the same, because it'd be fun to watch the time lapse on that too. But anyway, when anything happens, I'll let you know. Welcome back. It is Wednesday. The painter is all done except for the two doors that need to be replaced. Plumber was here. Got this big sink that I picked up at Costco. That's what this is, stainless steel, nice and deep. So if I want to warm up some epoxy jugs in here, I can do that. And of course I can fill up other stuff too in here. And of course, toilet with a handle flush, not one of those things in the top. And this is the water heater that we got. This is bigger than the original one that we had talked about, but apparently the smaller one was 120. This one here you can run on 240, so it should, in theory, be better on power, and it is a little larger than the other one too. So he's the plumber's got to come back and hook that up, and he's also got to cut in his floor drain that's there and the clean out that's over there. This never got installed yet, not important. And of course we're still waiting for the electricians to come back to install the vanity light that's nicely centered above the sink. Almost like it was planned out that way. Really, that's it. You know, when he comes back to hook up the hot water heater, I'll talk to you then. But you know, like I said, we're not going to have any water or septic out here until the house is built this summer. Again, you know, this may be repetitive stuff, but you know, for you guys, you're going to be watching this all in an hour or less, and for me, it's filming over weeks and weeks, and sometimes I have no idea what I said already. But yeah, I mean, we're so close now. Just waiting on the HVAC guy to come back to put the heat pump in, and he was here and dropped some of that off. That wasn't there before. That will give you an idea of the size of the ductwork that's going to come out of that room and go all the way around the workshop, and it will actually get smaller and smaller in diameter as he works his way around the workshop. But yeah, oh man, she's close. She's close. Welcome back. It has been, I want to say, over a week since I talked to you last. But we've got some progress happening. The HVAC guys were here today and set the furnace in place. It's a mover. No idea if that's any good or not. It's certainly not a brand name that I've heard. But yeah, it's a substantial amount of ductwork. This is the heat pump that'll be sitting outside. And here's all the piping. Yeah, that's a lot of pipe. What else? Well, as far as cabinetry is concerned, my brother-in-law's mother wanted to get rid of this, and I said, I imagine I want that for sure. So the idea with this is I think that I'll have all my pigments, anything kind of resin related except for the actual bottles will be in here. And on this side, I'll pop one or two of these out, and when I put clean finishes on, when I put a fresh finish on, it'll go in here, and then I can close this door. And that should be a relatively dust-free environment. And of course, this unit will be in the casting room. Haven't totally figured out exactly where it's going to go. Maybe this back corner here somewhere. And I also, well, last year, my brother-in-law that I'm using his garage went up and got these cabinets for me from another friend of mine that had just moved from Ontario to Miramichi. Now, they're not in the best of shape by any stretch of the imagination. I've got another face that's back here somewhere. Anyway, it's right there. And what I'm going to do is cut this out of here and then put that new face on, and I'll just brace it in the back and it'll be fine. And I don't know where I'm going to put this yet, but you know, they're not in the best of shape, that is for sure. Case in point, I actually pulled the side off by mistake. So, you know, with a little bit of TLC, we'll be able to bring these back and incorporate them somewhere in the new workshop. I do see the paint's peeling, so I don't know. Anyway, they were free, and I'll see what I can do with them. Also, along with that, I picked up 2 toolboxes. They're buried back there. Just give me a second, I'll dig them out and I'll show you, because I really like the way they look. So these were on sale at Home Depot, and 42-inch drawers, or I should say 42-inch long, and I bought 2 of them. I probably should have bought 3 because they're a really good deal. I think I paid $389 Canadian for each one of these. So if that sale's still on, I might actually go back and get another one, because I don't think that having the 2 of them is going to do it storage-wise. That was one of the major issues in my last workshop, was the fact that I didn't have proper storage for a lot of the things that I had. So the workshop always looked messy. So, you know, I'm bound and determined for this workshop for everything to have a place and for it to be put away so the workshop looks neat. One thing that we will be building is a 4x8 table that'll have a shelf underneath of it that will be a work table. I'll have that on wheels. One thing that I need to do is buy my table saw first, because I want it to be the same height as the table saw. That way when things come off the table saw, they can go right onto the table. But you know, I'm really excited about these cabinets, and they match my gray wall. That's the most important thing. So anyway, that's your update for today. I don't know what kind of progress they'll have tomorrow. I think that I just don't know how long it's going to take for them to do this. It is 2 guys doing it, so you know, getting the furnace set and cutting all them holes and putting in the main ductwork, I think was probably one of the bigger jobs to do. And then of course, Like I said, they've already got those mounting points up, so maybe they'll be done at the end of the day tomorrow. I don't know, but either way, I will give you an update tomorrow, and we'll see how far they get. But anyway, see you then. Right, so day 2 of HVAC installation, and the outside unit is now mounted. And for those who haven't seen anything like this, this is an air-to-air heat pump is what this is. And there's the size comparison to the man door. This thing's huge. Apparently my brother-in-law used to have one. It would be about this height, but if you cut it in half and then place that one in front of it, that's kind of the size that his was. So this must be a new generation type air-to-air heat pump. So still need all the electrical work done. There's the disconnect. And so anyway, let's go inside and have a look. And there is the ductwork. Huge. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So the main trunks, well, the main kind of lines coming off of the main, I'll call that the trunk, I don't know. They're 16 inches and then they drop down in size. And it's very echoey in here. Yeah. They still have to cut all of the holes, so there's going to be kind of rectangle holes cut, and then I think they're going to be tilted downwards a little bit towards the floor, or maybe straight down. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to put them in. I'll leave that up to them because, well, that's what they do for a living. But it's pretty big. I never thought that the heating and cooling lines would be this large, but they are. So those are the pieces. You can see how they're curved. Well, they're going to go on the surface of these pipes here, and those are the pieces that will go into the rooms. There's 3 of them there, and I got them laid out. And I'm guessing that pipe over there is what they're going to use to extend it off of the ductwork, the main ductwork, into the rooms. I don't know if a whole lot's happened here. Yeah, I don't know if this was all hooked up yesterday, but that's where they are. It's a big unit. I was not expecting that. One step closer, maybe one more day. He is kind of a furnace installer / ductwork, sheet metal guy. So I don't think that they're going to do the refrigerant lines. They'll probably have to bring a tech back to do that, because you have to be qualified to do that. And yeah, I mean, wow. And I asked him, I said, so tell me why 16 inches from the wall? And he said, well, basically that's where the builder put the put the strapping up for him to attach to. Really, if you look at that, they wouldn't have been able to go over much further. So, that's where it pretty much had to be anyway. I'm very curious to see how loud it is when it comes on. Right, well, that's it for today. I will keep you updated here as we go. Maybe we'll have everything all hooked up tomorrow, but I don't think so. We still got to wait for the electrician to come back. But other than that, progress, people. Baby steps. Progress. Welcome back. Last time I talked to you was on Thursday. It is now Tuesday. The first guy wasn't here on Friday and he wasn't here on Monday. I quickly popped in and drilled some holes, and then left. So I think that he had to make some stuff. So that's why there's nothing else done. I don't know why he wasn't here yesterday. My builder was here and he framed out around that, so it looks nice. We now have the correct doors, so that can be painted. And along with that, he also trimmed the bathroom when he was here. Turn the light on here. Yep. So she's all trimmed out all the way around for the baseboard. And the other thing is that my brother-in-law Mike and I, on Friday, before my live stream, we scraped this floor. And what a job that was. Him and I spent 3 hours each here scraping up the floor and using a wire brush. I'll show you what we used. It actually worked pretty good. I never bothered with setting up a time lapse for it. I didn't really see the point. Yeah, we had a bunch of shovels, but we also had this steel brush, and actually we had 2 of them, so that's what made it go really fast. We haven't done inside of the rooms yet, and the reason for that is, of course, I'm going to seal this floor. After just taking the broom and going across the floor and cleaning it up, I can see that it's going to be an issue if I don't seal it. And this is what we're going to be using for the sealer. Super Diamond Clear 350. And there should be enough there to do this entire floor and inside the rooms. The only thing that I'm worried about as far as inside the rooms is concerned, we can do that. We can do the utility room without any issue, but I'm probably going to do an epoxy floor in the bathroom, and I might do an epoxy floor in the showroom, which of course will be shown here on the channel. I'm undecided as to what's going to happen inside of the casting room, and I'm not sure if I put this down that I'm going to be able to do an epoxy floor after that. So I'm going to have to talk to Designer Epoxy and see what he says before doing any of the rooms. But the floors still have to be scraped in there, and like I said, we use that wire brush, and if you've got a lot of drywall compound on the floor, it actually did a pretty good job cleaning it up. And now that the floor is cleaned up, I mean, you can see some areas here that are just not good at all. Like there's one area there. And again, I don't know how well the camera is going to be picking this stuff up. But, yeah, there's another really bad area. Now, this, this comes at some risk, to be perfectly honest with you. What's going to happen when that sealer goes down on the floor is going to darken. I've sealed, this will be my 3rd floor that I've sealed. Typically it's done almost as soon as the power trowel comes off the floor, and you lock the moisture in there and you don't get any cracking at all. There is one small crack at the main door when you come in, but it's a pretty standard thing to get small little cracks in your floor, in your slab anyway, unless you seal them right away. And well, it just didn't work out with the weather, and anyway, the way that it went with the slab. I don't really want to get into it, but anyway, it is what it is, as they say. But very echoey. What's going to happen is you're going to have lighter and darker areas in the floor. You can see how some of it is more polished than others. Well, the polished areas are going to, I'm going to assume, are going to stick out a little more than the areas that are not. So in the end, it may be a floor that I absolutely hate. Right there, that's a pretty rough. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. You wouldn't even known that the grinder was run over this floor 4 times. So that shows you how much there is. These little worms, every time I come in here, I sweep up these little worms, and they're like a little tiny centipede. I know the camera's probably not going to be able to pick that up, but I was here earlier and swept the floor up, and we'll see how many are in here again tomorrow. But it's every day, and I don't know, they're at the doors, so I'm assuming that they're coming in under the weather stripping on the door, but I don't know what the attraction is with coming in here. It has been wet, it's been raining and raining and raining, so maybe it's just the rain driving them out of the ground. But I bet you I swept up probably 25, 30 of them this morning. So anyway, if you know what those little things are, and they're hard when you step on them, they're got kind of a shell on them, but underneath of them it's all legs. Anyway, I have no idea what it's called. So anyway, it'd be interesting to see how many's in here tomorrow. But you know, that's it. Tomorrow we are going to my brother-in-law. We're going to finish vacuuming this all up, and we're going to seal the floor. And let's hope that I don't regret it. So anyway, I will set up a time lapse for that so you can see that. There's so much stuff in here. Probably what we'll do is we'll do 3/4 of the floor, move the rest of it all into one area. After 2 to 4 hours, it says that it's dry to the touch and you can walk on it. So then we should be able to move everything onto the floor and then finish the rest of it. And then hopefully, the furnace guy is going to be back, furnace ductwork guy, hopefully he's going to be back on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. And after that, we still got the guy to come in to hook up the AC lines, and of course the electrician's going to have to come back and hook up everything else. But anyway, that's your update for today. The layout table that he has. PVC extensions. Can't say as I've ever seen that before. I think that's a good idea. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so it is Wednesday. So anyway, I'm just waiting on my brother-in-law. Once he gets here, we'll vacuum out the floor and get it ready for the sealer. I'm probably not going to show the vacuuming, but I will set up a time lapse for the sealer coat that we're going to put down. And yeah, so anyway, when he gets here, that'll be next. Well, Mike just left. Thanks again for the help, Mike. I really appreciate it, that's for sure. Yeah, it is definitely a lot shinier than it was before. And of course, now that it's shiny, you can really pick out the imperfections in the floor. But, you know, for the most part, I think that it's probably better this way than it was the other way. If you look that way, I don't know, hopefully the GoPro is going to pick that up, but it almost looks like there's dry areas. You know, we tried to do as best we could with our brush overlap strokes, but you know, you can see how it's going to still be there. So I'm a little surprised by that. So, you know, probably another coat of this would probably do it a lot of good. Now, if the floor was a lot smoother to begin with, I'm sure that this would go on a lot more even, and you probably wouldn't need as much. But the floor is as rough as it is. regardless, this is going to be a lot easier to sweep up. It would have been really, really hard. Well, I was actually, during the cleaning of this, I could feel the broom digging into the floor. So, you know, you got to do something. And I wasn't going to do an epoxy floor in here. And just, you know, I did ask Gabriel from Designer Epoxy, and he said to do 100 square feet, you're looking at, that would be a kit. So, you know, to do this entire workshop, since it's 1,800 square feet, if my math is correct, that would be 18 kits of epoxy to do this floor. So, you know, just too much money, and at 320 bucks, it's good enough. That's all there is to it. All right, well, anyway, what I will do at the end of this video is throw up the drone, and you'll see kind of the workshop fully completed on the outside as it is now. And the next video, we're going to be hanging up dust collector lines and air compressor lines. That's going to be the next video. And then that's it. Once the HVAC guy is all done in here, you know, he wasn't back again today, so that gave us a chance to do the floor. The floor was one of the big ones that needed to get done before we moved in here, for sure. And even that was a pain moving around, but not too bad because most of it's on wheels. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. And of course, if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. That would be greatly appreciated. Have a good one, and we'll see you at the next one.